everybody, this is Beth McCullough. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central with my sweet husband, Steve.
Hi, everybody.
How is everybody tonight? Welcome. We are so glad you're here. I have a fun new card to show you tonight. So this is using the simple Zinnia set that went live today for customers. It's an online exclusive. And I was at a demo thing on Saturday, and I gave Lori, I'm gonna say your last name wrong, Ingebrigtsen, a ride. And when we got back to her house, she gave me this beautiful card. And I was like, oh, I love that card, and I've never made it before. And her upline, Terry George, this is one of her cards. So I looked at that card and came up with this card, which is super fun. Lori, thank you for the beautiful card. And I made this for my voting card for Kylie's contest. So if you guys would be willing to go to stampingmom.com, it's on my blog post yesterday. Just scroll down just a little bit and there's a button. If you click on that, you can go to the voting contest. You can vote up to 5 times. And I would love it if you would vote for this card. It's lucky number 13. So and if you voted already, let me know in the comments. I really appreciate that. I know a lot of you vote every time. So thank you so much. Another question you may have is, this is pretty thick, right? So here's the front. You lift it up. This is heat embossed in white.
Oh, that's pretty.
Lift it up. You guys, look at that gorgeous flower. Do you see the stars here? It's amazing. And then the embossing folder is here. So my next thing I thought was, well, is it too thick to mail? I actually made a bunch of these because they are going to be one of my fancy fold swap cards for Houston. So I have a lot of them made. I put it in an envelope, and I have this U.S. Postal Service thing, and
Template.
It says if it goes through there, and look at this, there's plenty of room. It's not even close. If you don't have the template, another thing you can do, this is actually smaller than the template itself, but you know, if it goes through the slit on your trimmer, it also is good.
By the way, the template's free. You just stop by the post office and ask for one, and they'll give you one.
Ask him how he knows. Are you the one who stopped and got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You sent me on the errand.
Good job, honey.
And I said,
Thank
you want me to do what?
Thank you for doing that.
What's it called again? And, I tried to play stupid husband to get myself out of it, but it didn't work.
So very sweet of you. Look at all the people here. Bridget's here, and Jean, and Linda, and Karen, Wendy, Holly. You guys, welcome. So, do any of you have flowers yet? Before my team meeting earlier, Steve said, come here, you have to look at something. You guys, I have purple crocus up in my front yard. It just made my day. Janice is here, and Jeanne. Go ahead and put in hashtag Prize Patrol if you'd like to win a card. This is the card that we're giving away today. Okay, I'm going to show you everything we used to make this simple Zinnia stamp set. I did not use the dies this time, but the dies are beautiful. The Zinnia 3D embossing folder. Something I want to show you, I may forget when we go through it, but I put it in here and ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But if you look at it closely, the stems go this way. So if you're going to make this card, put it in so that the stems are going up and down. Just a free tip. Don't make the same mistake I did. And then I also used the Nested Essentials. It's the smallest one that I used for the sentiment in the front. That is heat embossed in white, which looks pretty stunning on Blackberry Bliss. I was excited about that. And then I put just one of these purple fine shimmer gems is up here by the sentiment. So, one other tip I have for you. It seems like this uses lots of cardstock, right? And so I wanted to show you that not the sentiment layer but everything else can be cut from one sheet of cardstock. So you're going to take your cardstock, I put it this way so it would fit on the screen, and you're going to cut a 4 1/4 by 11, and then on one end you're going to cut off 2 3/4. This is a piece you need, and you're going to score it 2 3/4 on the other end. And then there's some extra space. This is the little mini card. The only thing that doesn't fit out of one sheet of cardstock is you need to use a scrap for the sentiment. So just a little tip, because when I first started doing it, I was wasting some cardstock. Remember, I made a lot for the swap. So I figured that out and just wanted to share that with you. Bridget says, your Bradford pear trees are, oh, those smell so good. That is amazing, Bridget. I am so glad you're all here tonight. Okay, so Steve, we have measurements.
Okay, you want me to do my job is what you're saying.
I know you'd rather chat with everyone, and that is fun too. So we're going to start with a piece of cardstock. It's 4 1/4 across and 8 1/4 long, because of course you cut off 2 3/4 off the other end, right? And then scored 2 3/4. So this is giving you the card base, and this is Blackberry Bliss. Then I cut a piece of basic white cardstock and ran it through the embossing folder. Again, make sure your stems go the right way. And we're just going to adhere this layer. Oh, guess what, honey? I didn't check my glue.
Uh-oh. Moment of truth.
Yeah. So what question do you have for our friends? If you are watching on the replay, please let us know. And if you were watching live, we are always thrilled to see you. By the way, Prize Patrol, I was gone for 4 weeks and didn't send them, and I got a little backed up when I got home. But last week, all the Prize Patrol went out. So if you don't get your Prize Patrol this week, let me know, because I sent them all last week.
Orlia and Jean are now here.
Yay.
And Kathy Walton is on.
It's good to see you guys.
She signed up for Prize Patrol already. Wise choice. And Jean wants to know how many swap cards you made.
I made a lot, but I made them all for scheduled swaps so far. But we have some other things we're taking. We're taking some fudge and some other chocolate. So, yeah. I've done different, for the pals, I'm part of Mary Fish's team. We're going to a dinner, and I made swaps for that, and then I made fancy fold swaps for another thing. But I don't make like hundreds or anything, but I made a lot to use up. I used up a lot of this paper already. So can you see this? It's different on, you can use either side. I think they're both pretty. This one has more of the centers. I kind of liked this with everything popped out. So that is my first layer. Next, you're going to have the mini card. This is 3 1/4 inches across and 10 inches long, scored in the middle at 5 inches. And the mini card just butts up right into the seam. So the two folding seams go together, and then just adjust it so that it is even on both sides. So what have you guys been up to? Is there anyone else talking about flowers on there?
No more flowers.
Snow. Kathy has snow. My
20
goodness.
inches of snow.
Oh, Kathy. I'm so sorry. Are you still enjoying the snow?
That would bury the crocus for sure.
That would. I wonder if the crocus would live through that many inches of snow. Although, Kathy, this summer when we have a drought, we'll be wishing that we got 20 inches of snow. I'm fairly sure. So you can see I have about the same amount on both sides, and I'm just getting these seams lined up so the card will shut like that.
Deb Coughlin is on from Australia, where it's 11 a.m. and summer.
Oh my goodness. We are so happy you're here. Australia, I have a dear friend, Ruth Solberger from Australia, and it is on our list to go see her, isn't it, Steve?
It is. It's on the bucket list.
Okay. Now that we have our mini card inside, I'm going to do the Highland Heather next. And what we did for this is we're putting the Highland Heather. I stamped the big flower from the stamp set. And I think you could make these in any color. I was worried about the stems, you know, coloring all the things. And I just decided to heat emboss it. And it's really pretty in real life, isn't it, Steve?
It is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The white is striking off of the
so
lavender.
this is Highland Heather, and the card is Blackberry Bliss. And I cut a second card the same size. They're both 3 inches across and 4 3/4 down. And for this, I'm going to stamp this stunning flower. Another thing you could do is I have scraps of the DSP. So if you don't want to stamp the flower, if you have a lot to write, you could just put a 1/2 inch strip along the bottom, and that could go inside the card as well. But I am going to stamp the flower like I did on the first time. I always like to stamp everything before I glue it in, because if I mess it up, there's always another side, right? But this is the flower I showed earlier. It just has stunning stars, and there's stars in the designer series paper too. So I would highly recommend that. Melanie, you love heat embossing. It is one of my favorite things. Heat embossing got me hooked on stamping. So a lot of my cards have heat embossing because people look at it and they're like, it had to come from a store because it's so fancy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put this layer inside. And again, the basic white and the Highland Heather are the same size. So Steve, we're leaving for Houston next Tuesday, and you can't be coughing.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I got a little tickle in my throat.
Are you having allergies, or are you getting sick?
I'm not getting sick.
Oh, thank goodness.
I refuse to be sick.
Okay, so I love the looks of that with the embossing folder on the side. And then on the front of the mini card, we're going to go back to that Highland Heather and glue that one back on. So I forgot to ask before we started, do you have any stories for anyone tonight?
Of course I have stories.
How much fudge are you making before we leave?
You know,
so
I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be making fudge. I suppose I should get at it.
You need to go get your fudge supplies.
I do need to get fudge supplies.
I think we're making, this might be ambitious, three double batches.
3 double batches? Holy Toledo.
So.
That's like an hour and a half worth of fudge making.
Well, you could spread it out over the weekend. Okay. Let's see. Jean loves the heat embossed layer. I do too. So pretty. Okay, now Steve, we're going back to the DSP. Just for reference, both of these are the same. Now normally, on the Zinnia paper, typically what a lot of people do is cut it down the middle, and they make 6 card fronts with this paper, and it's lovely. But what if you want more than 6? When you do it the way I'm showing you tonight, you can get 8 cards per piece. So you can get 16 cards out of one set of DSP because there's 2 of these in each package. And these 2 designer series paper, these are the 2 that I'm using, and here's what's on the back. I hate to use what's on the back. I mean, that is beautiful.
Right.
But, sorry, Steve. But these measure 2.5 across and 4 inches down. And the first one, I'm going to put this plaid on here. And it was using the colors of the DSP, because like I said, this is what I started with for the card I loved. And on this one, every layer is embossed, and they don't have DSP. So I just used the color of the DSP and came up with what I thought looked good. Oh, Becky, thank you so much. If you weren't on at the beginning, I mentioned this is my voting card for this month, and it's on my blog yesterday, stampingmom.com. There's a button. It's very easy to find. And if you wouldn't mind voting for this card, I would really, really appreciate it.
I haven't voted for your card yet.
What?
Right?
Why not?
I hadn't thought to do it yet.
If you're not going to vote for me, who
I'm definitely.
is?
You know what? I'm doing it right now.
Oh no! You need to keep going.
Okay. I was willing to though.
Yay! Georgia's on. Hello, Georgia. Okay, so the DSP is up there on the top. Next, we're going to grab the other piece of Blackberry Bliss. This was the 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 that we cut off the end when we first made the card. And this, again, you're going to just keep the layers with the same amount on each side. Important safety tip, don't glue the whole thing. Your card is going to be shut. Just put the glue at the top. So put it on here and see that we want the glue just to be this top third section. So do you ever wonder, Steve, if I messed up everything that I give a tip on?
Well, you know, it is.
It's suspect, isn't it?
No, I mean, you can think of it and then just warn everybody else not to make the mistake. You don't have to make the mistake to warn people off of it.
Another thing that helps you on this is it's like a grid. So I did line it up down the line and then I matched it, leaving the same amount of border on all the sides. Oh, I thought of another tip. As I was embossing these, notice on the flowers, I don't have these stems going all the way to the bottom because there is a layer showing here and I didn't want the white stem sticking out. Ah. So I did kind of put them toward the top. You can see there's room here. There's a little more room at the bottom, but I just wanted to make sure. So don't be really picky about this, but just don't put the stems all the way to the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to put the other designer series paper, again 2.5 by 4. Are you keeping up with me?
I am.
Look at that. And I'm just going to put that on the front. It's so pretty. You don't even need to stamp. Oh, Deb, thank you so much for voting. I so appreciate that. Jean's going to do it when we're done. Jean, you won Prize Patrol in the last 7 weeks. I know a card is going to be in your mailbox. Becky won, Orly. All of you have cards coming if they haven't made it there yet.
So this is one where you glue the whole thing.
Glue the whole thing of the DSP because it's just going on this Blackberry Bliss layer. So this card has lots of layers. After you figure out the cutting, you could do multiples. I hope if you make one of these cards, you would take a picture and send it to me. I would love to see that, or put it on Stamping Mom on Facebook. Okay, now we have the sentiment. I used the sentiment from in the stamp set, Simply Zinnia. Thank you so much. I heat embossed it in white, and I used the smallest nested essentials. You know, when we're in Houston, we're getting the new annual catalog and we'll know what's retiring. I hope this die set doesn't retire. I really, really like it. And I think this looks fancy hanging over both sides of the card. And I was worried about putting it up on Stampin' Dimensionals, but I like dimensions, so I did it anyway. And it worked out okay. It fit in the envelope without using without an extra stamp, which is always good. Melanie, you have never won. Yes, Melanie, you need to watch it live. Please come back. We are here every Tuesday. And if we're going to be gone, and you know, we have done lives from lots of different states and all over the place. But if we truly can't do the live, we will pre-record it, and then we will pick Prize Patrol later. So
Melanie, the way you win is you type in #Prize Patrol, all one word smashed together, into the comments. And
how smashed does it need to be, honey?
I just
totally smashed?
Totally smashed, no spaces.
Okay.
That's as smashed as you can get, right?
Okay, Jean got hers. Yay. I am so glad to hear it. So I put on that purple glimmer shimmer because it kind of matches the Highland Heather. What do you guys think? Do you like it? So here is my 2 cards. again, thank you for voting, and one of you will get this card for Prize Patrol.
They look exactly the same.
They do. They do. Okay, we'll do Prize Patrol in just a minute. Wendy, yours was from February. This is the first day in March, Wendy. It can't be from now, but I'm glad you got it. Okay, so I talked about Joy Club last week, and thank you to those of you who have joined already. I am thrilled. You can do it monthly or annually, and I've had people sign up for both so far. And Mary Harris out in Colorado, she's making her first sampler with us. And look at this cute little bird she sent me.
Oh, that is cute.
She's going someplace, so she sent them early. But here's 3 of the squares that will be part of the sampler. I think we're going to have enough people, hopefully, to do 2 samplers. So how exciting is that? So if you don't know what Joy Club is, do you want to tell them real quick, Steve?
Yeah, it's an awesome community of crafters that get together, and it's got a community feature where it's like a Facebook wall where everybody's posting.
It's so
and
much
having
better than
conversations.
Facebook.
So much better than Facebook.
It really is.
Because anything on this particular service, Mighty Networks, it belongs to the people that post. It's all, there's no copyright issues. It's yours. If you post anything on Facebook, it belongs to Facebook. So this is so much better. So besides the community, which it's 24/7, whenever anybody's on there, you can get on and chat with them and post things. There's also the stored tutorials, both the PDF tutorials and the video tutorials and the tutorial bundles.
There's things added every week.
And they're on there all the time. You can go in any time and get them.
And we'll do a live Zoom every month and an activity. And it won't just be on Wednesday nights, and they'll always be recorded. So
right. So if you can't be there on a Wednesday night, it doesn't matter, because you can go in and watch the recording or catch the next one that's on a different day.
And sometimes we're going to do it on Tuesday night when this video is done, because we know you're here already. So if you haven't joined Joy Club yet, how do you do that, Steve?
So all you have to do is type in stampingjoyclub.com. stampingjoyclub.com, and it'll take you right to the sign up.
And Janice just joined. Bless your heart, Janice. So happy you just joined.
I have a screen for that. Let me put it up. And I have a banner. Hold on. Here we go. Also,
Janice, who just joined, I will get with you and help you. I hope you want to make a sampler square. Those are not due to my house until March 25th. And then on the Chat and Craft in April, we are going to put all those together. So you don't have to do this on your own. I can help you, because we do make the squares this time out of these colors. I'll tell you what those are. And they just coordinate well. We love dimension and we love texture. And the samplers, we've done probably at least a dozen of them this way, where everyone just makes 9 squares and they just turn out great.
Yeah, and I have to tell you.
Oh, look at that. Janice already joined yearly. Thank you so much, Janice. A surprise thank you will be in your email by tomorrow morning that I haven't already talked about. So thank you. I really appreciate that.
So I will keep this running across the bottom of the screen so you can see how to sign up.
And are we ready for Prize Patrol?
I think we're ready for Prize Patrol.
Yeah, thank you everyone who comes every Tuesday. We just so appreciate you. Please invite your friends. Kathy Walton is asking how to join.
Yeah, I've got it scrolling across the bottom. So, here we go for Prize Patrol. If you haven't entered, it's your last chance.
Reach out to me at Beth at stampingmom.com, and I can help you join also.
Okay, here we go for Prize Patrol. Who's going to win a card?
And it is March, so it's open to anyone.
I'm kind of cheering for Melanie.
Because she's never won.
Right.
Orly, yay! Orly, you were lucky. You won.
She is.
You won last month too, but you
If
get
you're
to win
ever
once
going to
a month.
Vegas, let me know because
Steve's coming with
you
you.
are
Yes.
a lucky individual.
Well, I will send this to you, and you'll be impressed because you'll get it soon as opposed to later. Well, you guys, I hope you have a blessed day. Reach out if you have any questions about Stamping Club, if you have any Stamping Joy Club, if you have any questions about this. If you're going to be in Houston, let us know.
Yes.
Because I have something pre-planned, but I have to know ahead of time you're going to be there.
And
So
let me know if I should wear the cowboy boots and cowboy hat. I have them. I am going to the Houston Rodeo,
yes,
right?
We are.
And I think they're mandatory there. I don't think they'll let you in
yeah.
if you don't have the hat and the boots.
Okay, so are you going to wear the Stamping Joy Club shirt and hat?
Not to the rodeo.
Not to the rodeo.
No.
Steve's actually coming to the conference.
Yes,
So,
I am. I'm going to distribute my own fudge.
Yes. So fudge will be there. So
Look for the
that'll
guy in the black cowboy hat and the Stamping Joy Club T-shirt, and
and,
fudge may be yours.
Yep. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for the fun that we get to have with you. Let me know if you have any questions. And again, thank you, Janice, for buying a annual membership to Stamping Joy Club. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night for our first craft and chat and get you started on your squares. Good night, everyone.